Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand how to retrieve data fed by the client, right? So we are not going to change the default selection. So let it be like this. And I'm going to apply a click event on submit button. So let me add a ID here. So that is ID is also submit. And I'm going to add a click function for this ID. So I'm saying here that input, I want an input tag where the ID is submit, and when I click on this button, this function should execute, and within this function we are going to retrieve the entire data, right? And I'm also going to add an unordered list here, and I would name it results, right? And in this unordered list, I'm going to display the entire data fed by the client. The client's first name, client's last name, the gender selected by the client, the hobbies of the client, and the name of the workshop selected by the client. So this is what I will display in this unordered list, right? And I need to add a event here. So this is the object that will be automatically passed in this function, and this object holds the entire information about your event, right? And you know that what is the default nature of submit. When you submit, click on a submit button, your submit button is going to post your data to a server. But right now we are not dealing with any server, so we are only working at client-side scripting using jQuery. So we do not want a default nature of a submit button that is posting data to a server. So I can restrict my event. I can restrict my submit button that do not post my data by writing prevent default. So that is a function, and that function will restrict your submit button that please do not post my data to server, right? So this is how we can do it, and we can avoid submitting data. And here at this point I am going to retrieve the data fed by the client. First of all, let's fetch the data, first name written by the client. So here I am going to write that I want input where the ID is fname, and then I will call a val function without any parameters. So this val function is going to return me the data, the fname, right? And I'm going to add this data in an unordered list where the ID is results. We recently added this unordered list, right? So here I'm going to append a data, and in an order list you can only append li items. So here I am writing li, and plus here I need to write fname is, then plus, and you know that your fname, your first name is in a fname variable. At line number 89 you are getting the first name from the text box, so here I can write first name, and then I need to close my li tag, right? So this is all about retrieving first name. Okay, let me save it, and let's do it exactly same for the last name. Let's copy everything, and I'm gonna paste it here, and then I need a new variable that is lname, and here the id is lname, and here I can write the last name is, and I need to change the name of my variable that is lname, and let me save this. And now you can see that you have these two text boxes on the top, and where the id is fname and the id is lname, right? So let me save it, and let's see the output first, and then I will fetch the other data. Go back here, now click on the register, and now here I'm going to write, let's say, John, and here I am writing Carter, right? John Carter. Now if I click on the submit form, see, I got my data here. So F name is John and L name is Carter. So we are getting some additional bullets here. Let me see what is it. Let's go back and see. Okay, we have not written a closing li here. Maybe this is the issue. So let's see here, go back, refresh, write John here, and then I'm writing a Carter here. Now click on the submit form. Yeah, we got exact result. F name is John and L name is Carter. This is how jQuery is fetching the data stored by the client, right? Now we need to find out the gender of the client, the workshop chosen by the client, and the client hobbies. So let me go back here. Then I'm going to find out the gender. So I need a gender variable, and here I need to write dollar input where the name is gender, right? And then I'm going to use colon checked filter. So I want a gender which is checked by a client. That is the meaning of this query. So I want an input tag where the name is gender, and uh, out of that input tags, I want a tag, input tag, which is checked one, right? And then I want to fetch the value of that checked item. And then what I can do, I can add it in my unordered list. I can copy it here. Let's paste it. And here I can write the gender is, and I can replace L name with a gender variable, right? So let me save it, go back, click on the register. Let me write John here. Let me write Carter. And here I'm selecting, let's say, female. Yeah, we got John, Carter, and the name is female. So we are able to fetch the gender. Now move to the next option, and that is a drop down control of workshop type. So here I am writing, let's say, workshop equals to dollar, and then the name of your tag, which is select tag, and its ID is workshop. If you go on the top and see, its ID is workshop and the name is also workshop. And then I want to know its current value set by the client, right? And then I can paste the same unordered list code here. I can copy it, I can paste it here, and here I can write workshop is, and I can replace gender with a workshop variable, and rest everything is same. Let me finish writing the entire code. So now what is remaining, the hobbies. So you know that you can have multiple hobbies. So maybe the client has chosen two hobbies or three hobbies. In that case, you cannot store that value in a variable. You need an array. So I am taking an array of hobbies, right? And then I'm saying that I want, well, I want all input elements where the name is hob, right? And out of these elements, I only want the checked one, right? Okay, here I need to write equals name equal to hob colon checked, and I know that I can have multiple items in my wrapper set when I execute this query, because the client may have chosen multiple items. And then I can iterate in my wrapper set. So if I have three options in a wrapper set, and then this each function is going to execute three times, and every time I will check whether the whether the item is checked or not. So let me take help of my if function, and here I can write if dollar this dot is, and here I can use checked filter. So I'm saying that if this item is checked, right, if yes, then I want the value of that item. So I can write where x equals to dollar this dot val, right? And once I have the value, I can add it in my unordered list. Or you can say that you can add it in your hob array. So hob is an array, and I'm going to push this item in my array. So finally I will have a array of all selected checkboxes. And you can also do one another thing. Other than taking this variable, you can even skip this step. So you can even directly add the elements in an unordered list. write in the each function. I can copy it and let me paste it here, and here I can write, let's say, hobbies is, and here I can write X, right? So this is all about this one. So let me first execute this and then I will explain this each function once again. I know that students face a lot of difficulties in understanding the each function. So I will explain it in a depth, right? So let me execute my code first. Let's click on the register, add some value here. Let's say John and write Carter here, and maybe I am selecting female, and here I am writing Java, and I want all the items, movies, singing and reading. So let me click on submit form. See, I got John Carter, the gender is female, and the workshop chosen by the client is Java, and the client is saying that uh, his hobbies are movies, singing and reading. So we are getting exact result. So this is how you can fetch data with the help of jQuery, right? Now let's go back and see what is happening here. Now when you are writing input name equals to hob colon checked, we are saying that we want, first we are saying that we want all input elements where the name is hob, and out of those elements we only want those elements which are checked by the client. And in my case I have checked all the checkboxes. So in this wrapper set I will have 3 items here, and this each function is going to execute for every single item in the wrapper set, right? And assume that this each function is executing for the first item present in the wrapper set, then $this is going to represent that item, and I'm checking if that item is checked, right? Or you can say I'm checking whether it is checked or unchecked. Well, you can also do one more thing, that because we have already mentioned that we want only checked items, so we do not need to write this if statement here. Even we can avoid this one. So we can avoid this one and we can erase this thing. We can save it. Okay, so now we have a wrapper set of all checked items, and this each function is executing for every single item present in the wrapper set. And for the first item I am saying that I want its value, and value is written in HTML, you know it, right? And once I got the value, I append it into a unordered list. Then this each function will execute for the second second checked item present in the wrapper set, and then I'm going to retrieve the value of second item, and then I'm going to append it in a unordered list. So let me save it and let me go back and check the result again. So let me click on the register and write here John. I love this name, John Carter. So now I clicked on a mail here, and then I'm saying okay, I want Python, and this time I am only checking singing and reading, or you can say movies and reading. Now if I click on a submit form, see, I got John a Carter, the gender is male, the workshop is Python, and the hobbies are movies and reading. So without if condition the code is still working because we have applied the colon checked condition here. So this is all about retrieving data from the HTML form using jQuery.